Hi, my name is Brian Myers. I teach saxophone, flute, and clarinet at Beacock Music in Vancouver, Washington. Today I'm going to play 4 tenor saxophones made by Selmer. I don't really stop and talk individually about each horn on these too much. I intend for people to be able to sort of listen and decide what they like, which one sounds best to them, what looks best. And ultimately, when you're in the store, you have to feel an instrument yourself to know whether or not it's going to suit you. A little point about the super action. I actually visited the Selmer showroom in Paris, and they were kind enough to inform me that there is no such thing as a super balanced action. In the States, we call it a super balanced action, and if you're on eBay or shopping for a horn anywhere, you will see SBA tenor as the shorthand for that. That does not exist. It's, it's just a thing we call it. They made a balanced action, then they made a super action. They did not make a super balanced action. So what can you do? That's why I listed this as a super action circa 1951, not a super balanced action. I'm trying to respect the wonderful company that made these instruments. A few thoughts on these horns. I love Selmers. They're my favorite saxophones. I did a video on Yamaha a bit ago, and I said that you could buy one and have it last a lifetime. Selmer is the same. They last forever, and they're fantastic. And that 1951 sounds just as good as any of the modern ones. I think the modern ones sound fantastic. Some people are only into the old Selmers. I think it's nonsense. I think they all sound and feel remarkably similar. And to me, it's amazing that a company can have been producing such exceptional saxophones that consistently for that long. Hope you found some of this entertaining or interesting. Again, I don't wax poetic too much on each horn individually because it's so subjective. Whenever I hear reviews, I'm like, all right, but my opinion ends up just being different. When I try a horn with a friend, for instance, if we're both there, we don't come to the same conclusions, and different horns sound different. The differences in our bodies and our minds and who we are make a difference. So I just play them. All you're hearing is what they sound like when I play them, and maybe you can try and get some ideas about that. They might sound totally different for you, but that's the thing. I'd like to thank Selmer for making wonderful saxophones. I am not affiliated with them, but I am a huge fan. If I could have had a poster on my wall as a kid, it probably would have been I did have posters of various jazz musicians, but if I would have had some people have sports car posters, I would have had a Selmer saxophone poster. Thanks so much for watching today. Really appreciate it. Come up to the store I teach at. There are a bunch of other great teachers here on all sorts of instruments, teaching all sorts of styles of music, and the store has an amazing amount of great instruments and gear and a lot of friendly people waiting to help you out. There's even a cafe with some food and some coffee and such. So come on up and hang out. Come to Vancouver and come to Beacock and get musical. Hope you have an excellent week. In some parts, I think they all sound the same. That's one thing, all these different saxophones, in some ways they're all very similar, but then you get to other excerpts and listen and you're like, oh, that's really different. That's either the tone or the response or...